In my never-ending quest to find the perfect 2-in-1, I came across the Asus Transformer Mini 102HA. It's a 10.1-inch 2-in-1 that comes with both a keyboard and a stylus. Hi, my name's Andrew, and this is the review of Asus Transformer Mini T102HA. Let's find out if it's worth your money. Every so often a device comes along that really doesn't blow you away in terms of specs. When I looked at the spec sheet of the Asus Transformer Mini, I really was not impressed. And a lot of you wanted me to review this unit, so I ordered one. And I'm glad I did. Here's what you get under the hood. It's the Intel X5 Z8350 processor. That's the most up-to-date Cherry Trail processor. It's got 4 GB of DDR3 RAM, and it's got 128 GB of eMMC storage. The Transformer Mini weighs 1.76 pounds with the included type cover keyboard and 1.2 pounds without. It's 0.5 inches thick. Its all-metal build is really top-notch. Now, when I first looked at the spec sheet and saw that it had only a 1280 by 800 resolution display, I was a little taken aback, so I was a little bit hesitant to review this device. Well, I'm glad I did because I was very surprised on how good and crisp this screen is despite it not being a full 1080p panel. One small negative is its somewhat thick bezels. Despite having a low resolution display, it has one of the brighter displays out there at 400 nits. At 92.8% sRGB, colors are accurate, viewing angles are very good, and it has a 16:10 aspect ratio. The old adage, you can't judge a book by its cover, certainly applies here. Just because it won't blow you away on the spec sheet, don't dismiss a device simply without using it. And I learned that lesson here. Very good job, Asus, on this display. Despite it not being 1080p, it's bright, it's good, and it really was crisp. As far as the ports are concerned, you get your standard fare with one glaring omission. I wish this did have a USB Type-C to charge the device. Instead, it uses micro USB 2.0. And although it does have a full-size USB 3.0 port on it, it was not able to power up my Western Digital portable hard drive. It was, however, able to power up my Samsung T3 portable SSD drive. Now, on the top of the device, you have your power button and you have your micro SD card slot for storage expansion. And in the middle, you have two dual array microphones. Instead of putting a useless camera on the back like most 2-in-1s, this has a fingerprint sensor which is Windows Hello compatible, and it worked about 95% of the time. Really nice touch, Asus. There is no camera on the back, and on the front there is a 2-megapixel camera that does 720p video. It was okay, nothing to write home about, certainly serviceable when you need it for Skype and video web conferencing in a pinch. And just like the Surface Pro 4, this has an infinite kickstand which allows for multiple viewing angles. The hinge worked very well, has good friction, and was very sturdy. And it has a magnet at the end to keep the kickstand closed. And on the bottom you have your keyboard connector. This is where the type cover will connect. The magnets are very strong as you see here, and it worked very well. And just like the Surface Pro 4's type cover, this also has a magnetic bar for angled typing, which was very sturdy with little flex. Now, as far as the type cover is concerned, the keys are a little bit on the small side. However, it does have 1.5 millimeters of key travel, and it doesn't have a backlight, which was a little bit disappointing. But the biggest problem was the size of the right shift key. It was extremely small and I kept missing it. I wish it was a little bit bigger. But despite those flaws, this was a decent keyboard considering that this is only a 10.1-inch device with very little room for larger keys. Now, as far as the touchpad is concerned, it was a bit undersized at 3.4 by 1.7 inches, although you can do Windows 10 gestures and two-finger scrolling was definitely usable. Despite those flaws, I'm happy to see that Asus decided to include the type cover in the box. Also included in the box is the stylus. Now, the stylus does use the N-Trig technology as you would find on the Surface Pen. It has 1024 levels of pressure sensitivity and uses one quadruple A battery, which Asus says will last about 10 months. The stylus has two buttons, a write button and an eraser button, and it has good palm rejection along with good pressure sensitivity. Overall, I would have to say I was very impressed with this stylus, and since this uses the N-Trig technology, the same as a Surface Pen, I was able to use a Surface Pen with this device without any issues. I would say that the fact that the pen is included in the package along with the type cover makes this a value add proposition, another checkbox in terms of buying this device. The Transformer Mini has two side-firing speakers. I was actually kind of surprised at how great these speakers are. Let's take a look and a listen.
If it's worth your money. Anyone who watches my channel knows I'm a huge fan of the Chewy HI12. Well, one of its chief competitors, Cube, released the iWork 12. So when Banggood wanted to send this as a review unit, I quickly jumped on it. I wanted to see if it's worth the money. What you get under the hood.
For a budget device, this has some of the best sounding speakers out there right now. The volume does get loud, it does have a hint of bass, mids were good. I was really impressed at just how good those speakers really are. As we stated earlier, this runs the X5 Z8350 processor, the most up-to-date Cherry Trail processor out there, and the 4 gigs of RAM runs at its full 1600 MHz capacity. As far as the Geekbench 4 test, it did a 2176 on the multi-core score, and its built-in graphics did a 5103 on the same test. It has 128GB SanDisk eMMC, of which 115GB are available to the user. On the Crystal Disk Mark test, it did a 149.5 on the read and a 70.95 on the write, pretty much what we'd expect in this class of device. On the Octane 2.0 score, it did a 6,899. I wouldn't be doing any video editing on this, I wouldn't be doing any processor intensive tasks. Forget about hardcore gaming, know your limits when you're dealing with this type of Atom Cherry Trail device. As far as the wireless radios are concerned, it has Bluetooth 4.0 and it does use the Qualcomm Atheros wireless standard. Reception was good without any issues. This being an Atom device, there is no fan, and as far as thermals are concerned, the most you're ever going to get as far as heat is concerned is about 34 to 35 degrees Celsius. Where this device really shines is in its battery life. On the AMDtech battery rundown test, which has screen at about 25% with Wi-Fi on, you can get around 9 hours and 20 minutes if you're looking at 1080p YouTube videos, 12 hours under 1080p.mkv videos, 9 hours and 10 minutes under 4K MKV videos, and under heavy browsing under the Edge browser, you're looking at about 6 hours. So can I recommend the Asus Transformer Mini 102HA? Is it worth your hard-earned money? And the answer is yes, I can recommend this device, but there are some caveats you need to be aware of. First, here's what I like about this device. It has a very bright display at 400 nits, it's got really long battery life, it has a nice type cover included in the box, so that's a nice value add proposition. It's got the infinite kickstand, which is very Surface Pro-like, and it has some great speakers. The fact that the stylus and the keyboard are included, and the fact that you can get this at around $299 right now on sale from Microsoft is a real steal in my book. But with any device, there are things that need improvement. There are things I don't like, and here they are. First, I think that the keyboard's a bit cramped and the keys are a bit small, especially that right shift key, which was problematic when you're trying to do long-term typing. And the fact that it doesn't have a USB Type-C is a real shame. Any device going forward, this is 2017, should have a USB Type-C. And the Atom Cherry Trail Z8350 processor, although the most up-to-date processor, is a bit sluggish. And it also took about 4 to 5 hours to charge a device with the device on, not really a very good figure. And although I appreciate the included stylus in the package, there is no place to store it. But with those few negatives aside, I have to say this is one of the better budget 2-in-1s out there. It checks all the boxes that you'd want. A decent display, a pen included in the box, a keyboard included in the box, and an infinite kickstand. And really, really long battery life. Although not perfect, I'm going to give it a 74%, making this worth your money. So what do you think about the Asus Transformer Mini? Do you think it has everything you want in a 2-in-1? I think it does. It comes with the type cover, it comes with the pen. You don't have to pay for extra accessories or pay the extra money that you'd have to do, say, with this Microsoft Surface Pro 4 or Microsoft Surface 3. Now, I understand some people are turned off by the Atom processor. It's a sluggish performance. I understand that. But as a secondary device, this may be the answer you've all been waiting for. It certainly checks all the boxes. It's got the good build quality. Again, it's got the keyboard, it's got the type cover, it's got the pen, and it has the kickstand, everything you want. Now, I know the screen is a little bit low res for some people, but again, I was skeptical at first. It was certainly serviceable, and in fact, I even like the fact that it gets very bright. But I'm curious to know what you think. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Coming soon to AMDtech is our coverage of CES 2017. I will be attending the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I will be bringing you the up-to-date news of everything that's being released as it's happening. I have a lot of things planned. I have a lot of vendors to see, pre-planned a lot of this, so hopefully I'll be getting you some great footage. So I hope you stick around to check it out in our coverage here at AMDtech of CES 2017, starting on Thursday, January 5th. The show will last from January 5th to January 8th. We will be covering it in full. So please hit the like button, please subscribe, please share this video. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know if there's a device or something out there you think I should review. I'll try to make that happen. If you have any particular request of a certain vendor or something you want me to see in CES that you know about, let me know in advance before Thursday. I'll try to make that happen. So don't forget to check us out on Facebook and on Twitter. Check out our website at amdtechreviews.com. So until next time, this is Andrew from AMDtech. See ya.